Hey, this is Francisca, and this is my mid-crisis life. So, I was just driving up the street, coming to the library, whatever. I was just driving up the street, and down the street is this woman walking, pushing a pushchair with a little baby inside, who's like maybe 3, 4 years old. And all the way down the street, this woman is shouting at this guy, "You got my money, you got my money. We ain't got nothing to eat." And he's telling her, "I don't give a fuck." Literally, these are the words coming out of his mouth. "I spent the money. I spent it on alcohol. And what? I don't give a fuck." She's screaming and screaming. And I was literally doing a 3-point turn in the middle of the road when I see these lot coming up. And I see, look, it's a young woman. She's got a baby with her. I've been in those situations with partners that are abusive and steal and financially controlling and emotionally, psychologically abusive. Like, I've been there. So I stopped and I rolled down my window. I said, "Baby, all right?" "Oh, this guy, I got him a job doing this. And then the whole time he's in the job, he's chatting up next women, this, that, and the other. And now they fired me and they hired him, and I ain't got no money, and he's got all the money, and now he's not taking the money." And she's going on and on. She starts crying in the middle of the street. And I'm like, "No, I hear you, man. That's hard." I said, "But babe, you got to check. Like, you're still following him down the road, I wanted this woman to see, like, yeah, all this shit. You're literally telling a stranger your business. You're crying in the street, but you're still following him down the road. Like, you're better than that, You're much better than that." Like, check yourself. Check your value. Hear the woman, "Shut your fucking mouth, man. You don't fucking know nothing. Come out my face. Drive your fucking car." Like, okay. All right. They say never to get involved in a domestic, right? Because best believe those people will turn around and join forces and fuck you up. But I think the thing is like, it's that thing of people don't want to be confronted with the truth. And, a lot of people say that, right? And they say, "Oh, I just talk the truth. I just tell the truth. I'm sorry if you don't like it." And I'm not really interested in that sort of thing, because I think that's just an excuse to be fucking rude. But I think more time the reason why you're told not to get involved in a domestic is because often there's a function in the dysfunction. People want to stay in a dysfunctional situation because there is some function that they get out of it. Either they get to avoid their own problems, they get to make excuses about why their life is so difficult, they get to blame other people for the shit that they're in. And a lot of it is about not confronting themselves, the truth of their situation and the truth of why they choose to stay there. But aside from that, the thing that it made me more think about is, I don't know, like anyone else who does this kind of work, who wants to try and make an impact, who wants to try and bring people out of that darkness, out of that dysfunction, into the light, into a more healthy, functional situation. Forgive me if I'm wrong, but does anyone else who does this just get to a point where they just think, fucking stay there? Fucking stay there then. You want to live in shit? Stay in your fucking squalor. Like, I'm done trying to fucking help you lot. And it's interesting because, like, coming back here to London, to a place where it's so dense, where the energy is so dense, where the vibration is so low, where there's so much deprivation, where there's so many socioeconomic problems, where there's so much mental health, so much drug and alcohol issues, where people are really struggling, like, because of this constant level of fear and anxiety and this oppression of trying to just survive in a system that is making it harder and harder day by day for people to survive. I think this is really kind of like the test for anybody who wants to do this kind of work, because this is where it's not easy. This is where it tests your resolve. This is where it tests whether or not you can, and when I say you, I mean me, whether I can stay in that heartfelt place, you know, that place of giving and loving and calm, and keep my vibration high to be able to help people. And I don't know, because it is quite a low vibrational thing to just be like, all right, fuck off then. Stay in your shit. Like, I'm done trying to fucking help these people. These people don't want help. They don't want help. They want to live in the shit. This is what they fucking want. And it's quite a reductive and dismissive way to talk about people, to think about people. And I wonder if it reflects the lowering of my frequency since I've been here. So the other day, yesterday in fact, I have a neighbour who I've known for a while, from before, like back in the day when I used to like hang around the area or whatever. And I saw him the other day and I said, hey, how you doing? You know, how's life? How's the family? Blah, blah, blah. Yeah, everyone's doing well. He's telling me about everyone doing well. And then all of a sudden has a fucking breakdown in the middle of the street. Again, as I'm getting into my car, crying, talking about his struggles with alcohol dependency and mental health now, and feeling quite discombobulated, quite displaced, quite disenfranchised, I guess, as well. And feeling like he has no control over his mind, and like everything's too heavy. Anyway, I called my mum and I said, oh, you know, I was just speaking to so-and-so, this is what happened. She said, yeah, he's done that with me as well. She was quite dismissive, like, oh, you know, that often he says he wants to stop but doesn't, blah, blah, blah. And there's another neighbour that I know who I've known for a long time, younger than me, and I know for a fact that this person suffers with fluctuating periods of mental health. And a long time ago, many decades ago, there was an altercation. This person got quite aggressive, quite violent with me after a period of me trying to help, trying to advise, you know, just trying to give this person some love and some kindness and some guidance. And I recently saw this guy, and I called him over because, you know, it'd been like 20 something years, and started talking to him again. And now every time I see him, he wants to lay out all of his problems to me. Then I have another friend who I know for a fact is in a lot of denial in relation to drug and alcohol use and some other things. Why am I saying all of this? I think that I'm saying all of this because what I'm realizing is that it's important to have discernment if you want to help. And I think, you know, I don't know about anybody else, but I'm the type of person, I really want to help others. I am what you would call a bleeding heart. I'm always looking for people who might be in pain, who are hurting, to try and bring some light into their lives. Like even the other day, I was driving down the street and I saw these two kids, these two adolescents, bump into this woman, and I thought, oh, that must be her friend, their friend. They know her. No, they'd just stolen her phone and ran off down the street. Me being me, pulled the car over, went and found the woman, drove around for 20 minutes trying to find the place where she needed to go so that she could get hold of someone in order to get some help. I had my son in the car. I had another kid from football training in the car. They'd just done like a 2.5 hour long match. Everybody was fed up. My son said to me later on that day, you'd think she'd be a little bit more grateful, right? All she said was thanks and then got out the car. I said, well, you know what, son, you don't do these things for the acclaim. You don't do it for the thanks. You don't do it for people to be grateful. You do it because that's what you want to do. If that's what you want to do what you want to do. But I think there's also something to be said about having discernment, because if you don't have discernment about who you're giving your time to, about how you're spending your time, about where you're placing your energy, it's very easy for that energy to become dissipated and for the support that you're trying to offer to become diluted, and for the lack of positive outcome or positive feedback, whatever that might be, to begin to create resentment and bitterness. And the thing is that if I'm in a place where already I'm fighting against the general vibration of the place, the general energetic frequency of the place, which is already very low and already seeks to kind of pull out of me what good high vibrations there are, and then like a sponge fill me up with the negativity that's around me, then unfortunately it is the case that you can't help everyone. And really, I can only help those who want to be helped. And that for me is a really difficult thing to say, because I'm kind of like, yeah, but there are people that can be helped that don't even know that they want to be helped, who potentially have the opportunity to live amazing, beautiful lives and stop these cycles of trauma and these cycles of pain and this generational hurt that we just see in everywhere around the world now. Why can't I help those people? Well, because those people aren't ready. It's as simple as that. And I don't think, now that I'm thinking about it, I don't think that equates to me just saying, okay, well, I will then choose who I think is ready to be helped, because that's quite arrogant. I think it's more about offering the help wherever I see there being a need, but keeping my vibration high by not taking it personally if someone tells me to fuck off and drive my car, or I invest some time in someone and you know what, they're not ready to stop drinking, or I drive around for 20 minutes and all I get is cheers. Like, you know, other people's behavior is not personal. It really isn't personal. It's way more about them and what they're going through and how they're choosing to live their lives, their perspective, the barriers that there are in place at the moment, the things that they want to ignore, the things they want to deny, the things they want to distort. It's more about that than anything that I'm giving. Yeah. Okay. So on that note, what can I be grateful for right now? What do I feel grateful for? I feel grateful for my own capacity to be able to see, maybe not all the time, but to have been able to see and therefore change and evolve and not still be stuck in situations that are literally self-harming. I feel really grateful for that. I feel really grateful that that woman didn't punch me in the face. I'm not even gonna lie. I feel really grateful that that didn't happen because, it's not like it's uncommon when you stick your nose in someone else's business to get your nose punched in. What else? I just feel really grateful that I'm not in a domestically violent relationship anymore. Like, I had so many of them. I'm really grateful that I don't feel that pain that I used to feel all the time of loving someone who was abusive to me. That's so hard. And it's so hard to get out of. Yeah. I think that's all.